that during the week I read about a cafe in Burwood that coffee lovers are raving about. So I thought, look, in the interest of coffee lovers, who I know many will travel across town just to get a great coffee, we should find out more about it. Mrs. P's at Burwood, George Street, Burwood, I think, from memory. So I thought we should invite the head barista and also the owner, along with his wife, onto the show tonight to have a chat about it. George Paspalas. Hello, George.
G'day, Glenn. How are you?
I'm well. Now, mate, you've had some great raps. You must be very pleased with the word on the street, because everyone reckons that Mrs. P's got great coffee.
Yeah, it's come to our attention that a lot of people have come in and we've asked where you come from. They said, we've heard you from, word of mouth. So word of mouth has really, really done well for us. And also from the weekend notes, we got a pretty good review there, and we were really excited to have a few people. Today we had 2 people coming from there.
But the thing is that you can have great word of mouth, but you only get great word of mouth when you're delivering 2 things, I think, and that's a great product, whatever your product might be. So in your case, it's coffee and food,
yep.
and great service. And both of those ingredients have to be there, don't they?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I'm the fussiest person when it comes to food and coffee and cafe, because as an owner, I'm also a consumer as well, and I know what I like. And if I don't get treated with what I term as respect, or with at least a little monicum of courtesy,
yep.
I'm probably not going to go back. So we make an effort to have a good customer service. And one other, and I suppose a point of difference with us, is that we also like to educate. My barista and I, we're always educating about coffee and about the people that ask us questions about what's a single origin and so on.
Well, it's funny, we've come a long way with the way we drink coffee, I think, and I'll just use myself as a benchmark here, or as a yardstick, because there was a time when at the local coffee shop that I frequent all the time, Al's Buzz Bar down in Cronulla, my old mate Al, who makes great coffee, but he used to, I know he used to be just slightly miffed by the fact that I always would have a flat white, but I wanted a mug. And yet I enjoy my coffee, and he, gradually convinced me that I'd probably be better off trying a few other ways to drink my coffee, so that I was actually getting more coffee flavour and less milk. Yeah,
absolutely. But that we do that as well, and it is a gradual process. You can't force your opinion on someone. Someone's got to be ready, and generally, and the easiest way to find out when they're ready is I'll come and ask you questions, and you suggest. The next time they come in, they'll ask for that suggestion, and then off we go. Our tagline is actually let the coffee journey begin, because that's how I started. I started off like you, as solely a large cap man, cappuccino. And where I got my training was as a cafe up in it was a cafe in Sydney, Joe Black's, who I used to go there as a consumer, and I just loved everything about it. And he tried and taught me how to. He evolved my coffee taste, and now I'm into ristrettos and a whole bit.
Yeah, so. It's funny, isn't it? All these funny little names: ristrettos, double ristretto. I quite often just have a piccolo at Al's now, and I enjoy my piccolo.
Yeah, compliments of the Italians, my friend.
Well, see, we've got a lot to thank the Italians for, and coffee's just another one. I think the other thing that I would love to see happen in Sydney, well, in Australia generally, the way we drink coffee is, I would love to see more of the Italian-style coffee drinking, where you can just walk in and stand at the counter. You know how they do that in Italy, and they just stand at the coffee bar there, and they just stand and consume, and then off they go on their way to work. So
that is right, yeah.
It creates that public bar of a hotel sort of feel, that there could be a dozen or 2 dozen people all standing around having a coffee before they go to work. But there's none of the BS about having to sit down and get comfortable. It's just part of the going to work or coming home from work or heading out somewhere. I love that.
Yeah, and that's one thing that we will maybe adopting later on in not at Mrs. P's, unfortunately, because the place doesn't allow itself to do that at this point in time. But there's something, I don't know, divine about actually standing up, waiting, having a chat to someone, standing up next to them, and going from there. It's coffee social.
It is. Well, that's it. Coffee social, and that was the other thing. The mistake that I used to make too was that I'd always insist that my coffee be extra hot, and I'd order it extra hot. And, of course, Happy Al, would look at me and just shake his head. And after he got to know me well, he'd say, you don't order it extra hot. You're killing the coffee.
Yeah. Well, temperature plays effect with the chemistry in the coffee as well, and it does change it. But you know what? If you like it hot, make it hot. It's no dilemma. It really isn't. So I'm partial to the slightly warmer coffee. But having said that, I could nurse a good coffee, till it goes stone cold. As long as it's good, I'm quite broad in that respect. But if it's not a good coffee, I can't finish it off.
Well, listen, it sounds like you're on a winner. You're obviously doing the right thing with the coffee. The food sounds terrific. The look of the joint sounds wonderful too. I mean, I haven't seen it, but shabby chic.
Yeah, we did it all ourselves.
How about that?
Yeah. Small budget. So we had to become very, very creative. My wife, Belinda, and myself, we spent a lot of time getting the right feel, because it's all about the feel. It's all about the vibe. You go to a place because, the right vibe there. It's an inviting environment. And we lightened up the walls, we opened up, we got large windows, the sun comes in, illuminates the place, it's beautiful. We've got, you've seen this quite a lot in the city, where you see, was it coffee bean bags?
Right, yes.
We've got our counter, we've got it draped with coffee beans on the side, but we've gone to something different. When we dyed the coffee bean bags to our colour, our three colours, and it's causing a lot of chatter, and you get a lot of good reviews from it. So.
That's good. Something different. So that's what we want. We want something different. We want good coffee. We want good food to go with it. We want great service, and you've obviously got that, and good staff, which is important. Now, you're at 34 George Street. You're on the corner there somewhere, aren't you?
Yeah, corner of George and John. And it's easy to remember because my head barista is John and I'm George. So there you go, in Burwood.
Makes it very easy.
George Street.
Corner of George and John, 7 days?
7 days a week.
How about that? No rest for the wicked.
I tell you what, if you come and saw the place, you'd see why I spend a lot of time there. It's quite relaxing.
Good. I will definitely drop by sometime. Thanks for having a chat to us.
I look forward to it.
Good on you, George.
Okay, thanks, Glenn.
George Paspalas here, and Mrs. P's is the name of the place, on the corner of George and John Street, Burwood. Mrs. P's coffee shop in Burwood, and everyone's talking about it. We better go out there and check it out for ourselves.
2GB's Summer of Sport.